Just in case you forgot, we'll go over chapter 8 dimensions just real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I think the point of this chapter is just to practice with the dimensions, really, which you've kind of been doing already with the measurements. There we go. So this probably won't be anything new to you, but when you're doing the homework, you'll see that you'll have to get a little deeper into the dimension styles and annotation and the leaders, that type of stuff. So, but let's go one more time. Let's go through how we get to the dimension styles. So click annotate. Hit the little drop down, go to dimension styles. But just to practice, let's go ahead and make our own little template. So this is I think the standard one right now. So hit new. I'm going to call this let's see, precision 2 places. Okay. All right. So once you've done that, make sure it's colored by block. And the primary units, where are they? Here. Make sure that they are in decimal. And since we did precision in 2 places, well, I want to see only 2 decimal points. Okay. So then, let's see what else is here. Yeah, so there it is. We're good. Make sure that it's clicked on for the, where are they? So click fit for this template. Where are they? Oh, here they are. So you have different types of arrows. So best fit is kind of the one I usually like to use, but depending on what you're doing, you can adjust it. So best fit will automatically try to set up for you, so it fits within the size of the stuff you're working with. But if you want to be a specific way, like if you want to see the text and arrows depending on the size, that may shift. If you wanted to always keep the text between the lines, it'll force it to be in the middle, as opposed to this. So it all depends, like how you want to make this, but we're going to leave it as this best fit. Okay. So now I have a new one. So you can make a couple on when you're, you can make a few for yourself, just depending on what you need. So you can have different types of dimension styles, and you can make that part of your template as well if you want to. Okay. So set that guy, make sure it's set to this one, and close it. So now I have precision in 2 places. So you can have one for like, let's say inches, one for centimeters and meters, etc. Just depending. But anyway, let's see here. Let's just draw a quick triangle. 3, 4, 5 triangle. Doesn't really matter. So 3, 4. Well, I like to put this guy down here. 4, 5. There we go. So now when I do my dimensions, you'll see that I only have 2 decimal places because that's how I customized it, right? So 2, even though there were whole numbers. Oops. It shows me the 2 decimal places. Now you can also select angular if you want to go more in depth into the measurements. So I can figure out the angle here. So click the both ends of these two sides in between the angle, and you'll get your measurement. Oops, that looks kind of crappy. Try it again. Dimension, angular. I'm going to pick this guy and this guy. You can see, obviously, that is 90 degrees, right? We kind of already knew that. Okay, angular. $37. Angular. Anyway, so this is different kinds of dimensions you can do. Okay. Alrighty. So there's not much else to mention here. You'll also learn a little bit about leaders, so you can add your own leaders and kind of your customized arrows when you start doing the homework. But we'll hold off on that. I want to talk about the midterm project real quick. So the drawing is from 9.9-6. Show you. Here. Let me zoom in a bit. So basically, you're going to draw a blueprint of an office building. All right, so I'm going to try not to give you any new lectures this week. So the only homework you're going to have this week is the chapter 8 that's about measurements. So mainly what I want you to focus on is making this blueprint. It doesn't have to be in Paperspace. You see how it has this little detail down here? That's because it's in Paperspace. You can just draw like you usually do on this space here, the two-dimensional. Here, let me show you what I mean. Where the heck is it? Where the heck? Oh, here it is. So like this space is just your drawing space, right? There's let me show you. There's drafting and annotation. That's the basic space. And then of course later we'll go to 3D basic space, but there's an actual paper space. So it looks like you're on paper, like a blueprint, but I wouldn't mess with that. It's unnecessary. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I rarely use it. It's not here. Oh, shoot, where is it? I thought it was right here last time. Anyway, don't use it and don't worry about it. I don't want you to be using the paper space. Okay. So all I expect to see is the correct measurements, the correct what they're called, the not hashtags, the little cross section shading. Let me find it. Oh, I think it was hash. That's right. Sorry, not hashtag. Okay, so make sure you have the correct hatch here. So I think it'll tell you which one to use. What I want to see is the correct measurements, the space, the lines and the text. This little bubble, we haven't talked about this much, but it's not difficult to use. Oh man. Right here, see how they have a little bubble around it? That's called let me find it. It's just like a ref plab. So in AutoCAD, there's a little function for it. Let me find it. It's right here. Let me show you. I think that's the only new thing that you're going to need, because we've talked about everything else. It's right here, the revision cloud. So if you go to annotate, you'll see it right here. So you can make your own freehand bubble. See? So that's what I expect around the, I think it was a parking lot. Okay. The future parking spaces. Just make a little rev cloud. Okay. This dimensions here, they might be, some of them might be a little weird or challenging. You may need to customize it or change it, like going to dimension styles. Notice how they're inside instead of outside. So make sure you figure this out and play with it. Okay. As you can see, this has a different hatch versus this one. It might even be the same one. They just have different space in between, but they will tell us. Okay. This can be done with a basic, just a text box, or if you want to do the single line text, you can. Either way. So this one, same thing here. I'd probably just do a single line text here. But anyway, so your midterm will be worth 30 points, 30% of your grade, I believe. So it's worth quite a bit. So make sure you get this done. And if there's any issues, let me know. I mean, I can't help you out too much since it's a midterm, but I do expect you to finish this on time. But if you need an extension for whatever reason, please let me know. Right now it's due Monday. Okay. Same for chapter 8 homework. The next week we will do 10 and 11 and pretty much finish the book. So next week we'll start finishing up the book, the last few quizzes, and then talk about the final project. So I'm hoping we can get this midterm project out of the way. That way we can spend the rest of the time trying to get that project done. Okay. Is there any questions so far? Is that clear? All right. Alrighty. So 8.1 is your homework today. If you haven't finished the last two, they're still open. I think today's the last day. I suggest getting 8.1 done as soon as possible, and the rest of the week I'll just give you time to work on this project. I don't think I'll cover anything new until next week. But if you run into trouble, I'll try to give you some pointers. Okay. Yeah, 9.6 is the midterm. John, you said you wanted to do the hatch, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me show you. Where is it? Yeah, here you go. I'll just use the same thing I was working on earlier. So just type the hatch function, enter. So let's say I do a little hatch on this little cloud, right? Right here, you can change the thickness. Yeah, it's 0.8 distance between each hatch or each line. So when I adjust this here, it'll make it thicker. Or let's say I put 4, right? That's the space in between. So I put 2, they're closer together, etc. I think you can go in more details and edit things as well. You can also change the type of pattern. So if you want different types, like a gradient, solid, etc. Anyway, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Sir, I can't see the PDF or anything. Can you show it on the screen real quick?
Yeah, let me do that.
Thanks.
It looks something like this. And so it was a, I think you have to make a arc using 3 points,
Yeah, okay.
and you
That
make,
helps.
and then you do a mirror after you make like two of them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.